final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tempering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept a post-human future. It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction.
And things are not going well for relationships in the West. So what else is new, right? Well, I've recently been looking at some astonishing surveys and studies, and I really fear for the future of our Western friends. Marriage is on the decline. Fewer people are staying together. Fewer children are being born, and a man's chances of finding a rewarding partnership are slipping away. While none of that might be news to you, the reasons behind it are both fascinating and downright scary. So let's take a closer look at what's going on over there, as women chase their dreams and ironically become more miserable than ever. Is the future of relationships really doomed, or is there still an opportunity for happiness? Because happiness is something a lot of women in the West seem incapable of. According to a study by Yale University called The Paradox of Declining Female Happiness, women's overall happiness was always greater than the average man's until the 1970s, when their happiness levels began to erode compared to their male counterparts. Then in the 90s, for the first time since data has been collected, women are now far less happy than men, and the gap continues to grow. But why? Today's Western women have more advantages than just about anyone on the planet. They have top-of-the-line education, or so they think. They have access to just about any goods and services in existence, and they have the money to pay for it themselves. So what's the problem now? Could it be an abundance of choices coupled with less accountability for their actions that have combined to create a toxic mess? A big brother government that caters to their every whim? A culture that tells them that they deserve everything under the sun and more? Or is it something less complicated, like you men are still not giving them what they want? Well, let's find out what they want. Maybe it's something really reasonable. First, we have a guys would be thrilled to find a woman who was cute, kind, and fun to talk to. But Western women thought that only getting 80% of what they wanted would be settling. And you'll be disqualified from the dating pool if you're wearing the wrong color belt. Now, I've said it before, but you guys are so screwed. Apparently, they've been told that every one of them deserves a flawless man to complement their own perfection. And that means that men with a few dings and dents get left in the dust. So what does all this mean for the future of relationships over there? Well, one of the obvious effects is a dramatically falling birth rate. In the US, the number of births has fallen by 23% since 2007, which in the long run is a societal dead end. Is that because men no longer want offspring? Or is it because women don't want to interrupt their careers? No matter the reason, it's an unsustainable path for any country. But I'm not seeing much concern about the problem from people who are more interested in themselves. And there doesn't seem to be any end in sight, because according to a happiness expert in an article from The Guardian, unmarried and childless women report being the happiest subgroup in the entire population. Now, I'm not sure how that can be true if females are also reporting a steep decline in their overall satisfaction levels. So maybe some women are just kidding themselves. You gotta love that cognitive dissonance. But regardless, the message being broadcast to the ladies is clear. You don't need no man.
Mad at you guys because
No, I think you guys think that we're mad at y'all because y'all ain't married us. And we not. That's my point. We don't go.
Do you really feel that way?
Yes, we're not. Listen, all we say is leave us out of it. If you gotta go off and find your happiness somewhere else, go find it. Leave me alone though. Right? You don't gotta make a series about why American women are horrible and why American women are that and why black women are that. Like, just go off and do your damn thing. And then we don't have no reason to respond. Like, there's nothing to respond to. Go live your life. Just go do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really care about where you go and who you being with if you just don't. It's not gonna be like Thai women because our history is different.
Right, but what's the TikTok videos all about then? If you're saying they don't care
The
on a
TikTok
regular
videos
basis.
are saying, look at your little dusty ass. Nobody wanted you anyway, okay? Yes, you over there getting that woman because you can give her $200 a month and she's gonna be happy and taken care of.
I'ma go overseas and get me a foreign girl.
Passport bros go to third world countries and purchase little girls and turn her into a breeding mare. They're little girls, you're sick.
I just want to understand what makes you spend $135 on an adult passport to go literally get the same type of hoo-ha that you can literally get from across the street.
What do you see when you see this young lady? Okay, you see the septum ring, of course. Let me show you what I see. I see a woman that is wearing a shirt with a pentagram on it. Do you all see that? This right here is a pentagram. If you look right here, there's a horn, It's a devil shirt. So you have the woman wearing the devil shirt with the pentagram trying to talk the moral high ground when it comes to passport.
I always say we the men that catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so she really booked you.
She did, though.
Is what you're saying.
Because I was fighting it.
Now, he may not have known who she was when he met her, but this is the Simone Biles, Olympic gold medalist. How he puts some respect on Simone's name. But he also goes on to talk about how he's the catch.
How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man. That's the question.
And this is why I believe that men like this think so. When you are, as a woman, are pursuing a man, it makes them feel like they're the prize. He goes on to talk about in the interview how, they met on this dating app and she kept messaging him first. She even drove 45 minutes to come see him on the first date. Like, it always seemed like she was in the role of the pursuer. Now, that's how men talk about you when you are the one pursuing them. I always say they chase, we choose. That's why we don't drop down on our knee and propose to men. That's why we're not calling first and pursuing men, approaching men that we meet out in the wild. You don't do that because this is how they talk about you. They feel like, oh my goodness, she must really think I'm something. Like, you don't want them to start sounding like this.
I highly recommend marrying black men. A lot of Arab and brown women are reaching out and they're trying to find black men. And I say black men are kind. They're very secure in their masculinity. They're also gentle. They're also not like I see this a lot in the Arab community because they grew up in it.
Because I want to know why everyone is so mad at Jonathan Owens, husband to Olympic award winner Simone Biles, for saying in that last podcast or interview that he's surprised. Where's the issue? I'm confused on why y'all are so pressed when Simone is chilling. Simone ain't pressed. Simone said, yeah, that's right. That's my prize. Her silence says it all. She married that man because she loved him, she adored him, and she obviously sees him as a prize. And then, like, man, when I got married, I saw my husband as a prize too. If it weren't for my husband, I would not be married. If it weren't for my husband, I would not one day have the opportunity to carry the life that he put in me for 9 months. Why is it that y'all want men to see everything but their worth in themselves? Why can't they see their value? Why can't they be the prize? Because they are. Having a man as my protector is a win. Having my man to be able to help me to make decisions so I don't have to do it all on my own, oh yeah, that's a win. Having a man to lead me logically, spiritually, mentally, financially, that's a win in this world. I'm not trying to do all this by myself. It's hard out here. Having a righteous man of God choose me in this life forever till death do us part, that is a win.
Today. Well, one of the things they told me was that he was at the house one night and we were talking and he started laughing. He said, Aaron, what do you think women's liberation was about? And I said, I had pretty conventional thinking about it at that point. And I said, I think it's about women having the right to work, getting equal pay with men, just like they won the right to vote. And he started to laugh. He said, you're an idiot. And I said, why am I an idiot? He said, let me tell you what that was about. We, the Rockefellers, funded that. We funded Women's Lib, and we're the ones who got all over the newspapers and television, the Rockefeller Foundation. He says, and you want to know why? He said, there were two primary reasons. And one reason was we couldn't tax half the population before Women's Lib. And the second reason was, now we get the kids in school at an early age. We can indoctrinate the kids how to think. It breaks up their family. the kids start looking at the state as the family, as the school, as the officials, as their family, not as the parents teaching them. And so those are the two primary reasons for women's lib, which I thought up to that point was a noble thing. You know, when I saw their intentions behind it, where they were coming from when they created it, the thought of it, I saw the evil behind what I thought was a noble adventure.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Karkadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there under the like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. I don't know why I'm entitled this show through the Spirit. I watched this video, and this is what sparked it all. This Filipino woman did her little, not even really in that depth of a research, and to find that Western women, and when I mean Western women, is from Europe to America, but the focal point is here in America, are the most unhappiest people on the planet Earth for all the stuff that they have. Now that I started out with that video with the woman, I guess she's having a conference call with a whole bunch of Edomites, basically saying this is part of the elite's agenda, and the elite's agenda is to tear apart what the Lord put together. All right. Matter of fact, I know what scripture to start with. And how can they have gotten, because I did a show on this already, and where she broke it down. How can they have gotten everybody to co-sign their own destruction? Right? Now, at the end of the video, obviously I had to put that in there. That's why it was a little bit long, because she was bringing out some points. I had to kind of stress out what she was saying and to bring the results of what we're seeing amongst Jake. Now, there's plenty of other evidence, plenty of other videos. I just, for the time being, I was using what I have, and I didn't feel like, I haven't done one of these projects in a while. But to see the buildup of a darker force that was the cause of all the dysfunction that's taking place within the Israelite family, because now we could sit there and say, oh, the Western women are dysfunctional, which they all are, but the focal point, the focal ones that has no right to be this so that goddamn dysfunctional is you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The women. Now, when Aaron Russo broke it down perfectly, how he was told by, I believe he said Nick Rockefeller, right, that the reason why they brought in feminism was to tear apart the family and to have the states and have everything else to be the parents of the children, which indoctrinates and programs the children to be dysfunctional. So the woman gave a great point. She said from the 1950s, no, 1970s to the 1990s. So that's the 20-year gap. All right. From the 70s to the 90s. I was trying to look for, there was a video a brother had put together, probably, and then was asking a couple of women, back in the days, who's the head of the household, and they'll say that it's their man. And you'll see, and I believe the brothers had put together from the point of how women was at awe, at admiration of their men, just to even talk about their men in such a state was just inspirational for them. And then you fast forward to the average woman today being nasty and promiscuous and being wicked. Is two different eras. All right. What they call freedom and liberation has really become the captivity. All right. They're captive to Satan. Okay. They're all captive to Satan. That's why they're not happy. Nature, by women's nature, they can never be happy. All right. And she brought it out. And she brought it. There's more to what she said. She said basically in the video that there's plenty of women in the Philippines or all these other different countries that's willing to take men who wants to build a family. Where here it is in this side where they talking about, oh, the man got to be the man of the house and this, that, to the third, but they about tearing the family apart. So it's two contrasts as we're seeing. And this, at the end of the day, for us men here in the shores of America, the hopeful elect, we have nothing to worry about, because if we don't get them here, we'll get them in the other side of the world. There's plenty of women that's like, I had to put that woman in it. You have these other nation women that can't wait to get with the Israelite man. Can't wait. They sovereign. All right. Your stock is high in these other countries. I know. Been to the other side of the world, seen them with my own hand. The way we being treated here in the shores of America is a fucking crime. It's criminal to be treated the way we being treated here in this side of the world. When the other side of the world, they know your wealth more than you know your wealth. Okay? And we gotta understand, we are the prize. It's like that NFL player and that gymnastic woman girl, Simone, whatever, and that black bitch trying to say, oh, she's such and such. It doesn't matter who she is. She knows her role. She knows who's the prize. All right? And you women are going to realize who's the prize real soon. You're going to realize that the hard way. A lot of you are going to get rejected. There's a great division in the shores of America. Scripture, I guess I'm going to start with this. Isaiah 29 and 16. 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord. And that's who we call the illuminated ones. The non-illuminated ones. Because the light that they shine is wickedness, which is not light. Scripture says in Sirach 19 and 28 that wickedness is not wisdom. All right? They hide in the dark because they know what they're doing is adverse to the Lord. All right? It said, and their works are in dark, and saying, who seeth us, who knoweth us, who sees these things? The Most High, Yahweh. All right? All these laws that's being passed to disrupt the nuclear family, where men can be with men, women can be women, it's all adverse. Everything that Esau has touched is decaying. And all you women are just a subject to his madness. All right? Esau have gotten you the way he wants you from the beginning of time. Women have became the crutch to men. And what we're realizing through the Spirit of the Lord, that nothing should come between us and the Heavenly Father. Nothing. All right? What we feel weak about, how we feel about the softer the softer part of us, the weak nature ones are diabolical, despicable, and they work for the enemy. Flat out. It says, surely you're turning things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. So everything's upside down. All right? Women over men. That's upside down. All right? For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? So the Lord created Esau to bring in this division that we're seeing between men and women. This man has literally infiltrated every man's household. All right? Every man's household. Because, once again, the women are the weaker vessel. All right? 1 Timothy 2 and 13. Adam was first formed, then Eve. Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. So the woman she was being deceived. All right. 1 Timothy 5 and 6. When I was doing this was one scripture that came in my mind. I have to bring it out. But she that liveth in pleasure, like the woman stated, she stated facts. You have everything at your beck and call, so-called highly educated, but yet you're the most loneliest creature on the planet Earth. A man is not attracted to your goddamn college degree. That's not sexy. That doesn't bring life. All right? And even with that the clip I got with the Saudi Arabia Ishmaelite woman, I got it from another clip, and there was another woman in that clip basically saying that they themselves are feeling the effect of a high divorce rate. All right? Which is unheard of. Because what? They being educated. Now, being educated in this society, it sounds good, but in reality, they're being programmed to have less and less children. So having less and less children bring forth the next generation. You don't, like the woman said in the video, how can they have gotten people to self-destruct them, to literally kill off the entire human race by being programming? So every single person is being programmed for their own destruction. You are thinking of death. And one of the main things how they got in the woman is through pleasure. All right? A plethora of pleasure. That's why you have everything at your beck and call. You go to the clubs, you get in for free. Drinks are for free because men gravitate to women. All right? So you get all the attention that you want. Then in this society, you could be promiscuous. You could lay down with a whole bunch of ham, dick, and Sally because y'all going both triple, quadruple ways. And the society's telling you it's everybody else's fault except for your fault. All right? So it says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she live. This is why you could never be satisfied. You could never be happy because you're dead. You're spiritually dead. You're numb. There's no, you don't pair bond with anything. All right? You are an empty soul that's looking to be filled up, but you never could get it. That's why Prince he made that song in Dove's Cry. He said just like his mother, he said something about his mother, she's never satisfied. Women are never satisfied. That's why even after camp, Pastor Todd just brought that up too. He said we are learning, and the lesson we're learning as men, Israelite men, is do not put your strength and all your value, your time into women. There's nothing. There's no reward for that. The saying of the world, happy wife, happy life, that's a goddamn lie. A man's purpose is to focus on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Once he's focused, guess what? They come along. Because now they see somebody, like that woman stated. That's the man is the price. But before I get there, 1 Timothy 5:14. I would therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. So you women not supposed to be walking as a walking embarrassment, but you in a walking embarrassment today to the Israelite man. That's why the Israelite man is fleeing. All right, he's fleeing this country to find a rest other places. And I just saw another video that now you have Israelite women, so-called black women, learning the Thai language so they could go to Thailand, knowing that black men is moving there by the abundance. So that's part of the curses, Deuteronomy 28 chapter, that we will find no rest. All right. So no matter where we go, they want to bring that hell to us. There's that constant reminder. We need the kingdom. We don't need this ratchet demonic energy demon, the succubus. We need the kingdom. All right, real quick. Sirach 25. Let's say real quick. It says, oh yes, Mios. I hate when it does this. This is the 25th chapter. Does this time to time. Why does it do that? Okay. Alright. Sirach 25. And you know what? I'll start there. You know what? I'll start there. Sirach 25 and 15. It says, there's no head above the head of a serpent, and there's no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. And the production of all this shit is bringing forth wicked women. That's why I had to start at 15. It says, there's no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. The she is our enemy. Micah 7 and 10. The black woman is our enemy. So she doesn't want us to be happy at all. All right. And the way she leads the fighting, the demonic force under her master, Esau, because that's the pit bull. That's Esau's pit bull right there. And that the other nation women, especially in the West, that, you know, they come from different countries or they born here, they pick up the bad traits and they become our enemies as well. All right. It says, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like a sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, he shall sigh bitterly. And isn't it that is not that happening? That's why men are running away. That's one of another reason why men are running away. Because the women, all right, the dark-skinned women, they are fucking an embarrassment. All right? They're fucking embarrassment. Do I have to name names? Let's go name it. You have Cardi B. I'll call this bitch Unsexy Red. Fucking Suki Hana. All right? Enough said. I don't have to explain nothing. Okay? They are the fucking embarrassment. And that's the product. That's the assembly of factory of that's keep being produced, because women are easy influenced by what they see. So they're gonna mimic the shit that is unattractive, and men don't want to deal with that. A real man does not want to deal with a masculine woman, which is an oxymoron. All right? You don't want yourself a butch chick. You want yourself a feminine chick. So you go somewhere else to find that. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, that the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And that's why a lot of these guys commit suicide or do whatever it takes in order to run from that. Okay? A match made in hell. So going back to 1 Timothy 5 and 15. It says, for some are already turned aside after Satan. Not some. Damn near 99% of the women today, especially here in America, are demonic as all hell. Okay? They're wicked as all hell. You can't get around that. King Solomon made the statistics, and he said it, that he could not find one. All right? After every 1,000 men, he found one that was righteous, and when he found women, it was none. So they all turn aside after Satan. Okay? They all, and we can't run away from this shit because it's in our face. It's in our face. But going back to the prize thing, showing that the Lord is, he's stepping up. He should Brakate Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is showing who's the real prize. All right? Who's the pinnacle is really supposed to be on. It's not the woman. Okay? She's being played out now. real quick, it says Lamentations. No, it's Lamentations. I had it. It might be 3-1, 4-1. It says Lamentations 4-1. It says, how is the gold become dim? And who's the gold? The Lord's people. All right. And this is why our women have turned against us, because we don't have the power. See, women flock to power. All right. They flock to safety. Yes, slavery had a great thing, a great factor into this all, because we went off as men to our Lord. All right. And like I said, Apostle Tar was just talking about this. He said it's so the Lord put us in hell, and he made the woman our enemy because our light was dim. All right. It says, how is the most fine gold change? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, sons, not daughters, precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthly pitches, the work of the hands of the potter. So we went from something that was a state of greatness to straight earthly vessel, like nothing. All right. So our women don't look at us as anything, but for their disservices and their unloyalty, this is why the Lord's gonna get them. All right. He's gonna get you. Don't get it twisted. You may like, yeah. See, y'all mentioned slavery, and y'all never got back your power, but that doesn't mean that was no excuses. You have no sense of loyalty. This is why you are the enemy. It says Micah 7:10. It says, then she that is my enemy shall see it. See what? The salvation. See the men of the Lord transform right before their eyes. All right. You're going to see when everything outside of the metropolitan, this world, is going to be with a particular men. All right. In other words, everything is going to go directly how a man of God wants it to go, in safety. All right. Being fed when everybody else is starving to death. You're gonna realize, like, oh shit. But it's gonna be too little too late. It says, and shame shall cover her, who said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? And that's how these women, they go. They go with the power, and they make mockery because they don't believe in the Heavenly Father. Especially we tell them that the creator of all things, all right, and his son are what you call black men. Oh no. Cynthia G would go crazy, because the simple fact is they cannot fathom seeing a man, a so-called black man, Latino man, Native American man in a position of power. But the creator of all things, who made us, made him his image, all right. He dimmed us, but now he's fixing us up. He's shining us up again, and you can't see it. So you are the enemy. It says, my eye shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden as the mire of the streets, like the pieces of shit that they are. I make a mention of something real quick. I don't make this too long. Ecclesiastes 2:5. It says, for gold is tried in fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So the gold is the Israelite man. Okay? And you people, you may not see it, which who cares a fuck? Because a lot of you people not even worth being looked at. All right? You're not in a high level vibration to even deal. All right? If you don't see it now, who gives a fuck? All right? We get to that point. Amos 8:11. Because at the end of the day, he who has the knowledge, he who has the power, sets the rules. All right? You want to see power? You're going to see power. But then you're going to be searching. And you're going to be lost. And you're going to be destroyed. It says Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, how thou will send famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but the hearing of the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So that's going to be a one hell of a day. All right. Here you have the opportunity. Those who related to us, those who supposedly with us at this time, and you're not gonna. There's gonna come a time when the men of the Lord is gonna be removed out of the sight. So guess what? That means the supply and demand is gonna be high. So truly, who's truly precious? All right. It says, verse 13, in that day shall the fine virgins and the young men faint of thirst. What thirst? The thirst of this word. All right. They're not gonna have no answer at all. And who's gonna have that? The Lord's with? His men. Gotta bring this out. Isaiah 13 and 12 says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, which Ophir is gold that was found here in the Americas before the settling of this land. And that's why Solomon sent his navy to go to get all these precious things over here. So that the future Solomon, which is Yahweh Shai, he's coming back to get his precious gold, which is his men. Okay? And gold is a higher, matter of fact, Barack Obama did a video on it. I'm going to kind of bite him. So, let me see. Which one should I use? Use this one. Gold, right? We're just going to talk about gold. Price of gold, no. Type in. Why is gold valuable? Yeah. Gold is because gold does not need backing or guarantee of the bank, which we know that already. We want the okay. Why? Let me put in. Why is gold precious? Okay. Well, let me type. Okay. Yep. This is. If Barack Obama's watching, you know I'm getting it. He says, gold has several qualities that have made it exponentially valuable throughout history. It is attractive in color, brightness, durable to the point of virtual indestructible, highly moldable, usually found in nature in a comparative of pure form. All right, which let me see. Let me look at another one. We know gold is the highest quality. There's something else I'm looking for. And gold also has a certain vibration to it. Okay, it's indestructible. It has a high value to it. All right, it's hard to get. It's hard to find. So, if the Lord is saying that His men is as gold, then it even makes it harder to find, especially coming from the west. No, coming from the east. Saying that something that was from the west, that shows you how precious the Lord deems His men. Well, I probably couldn't find it. I probably misworded. So those who have the knowledge, the wisdom and understanding is more finer and precious than anything in the world. So if these athletes should be considered precious in the sight of other athletes like Simone, whatever, how much more a man of God, right? So that's a level, because that man of God is going to be protected by God. All right. No matter where he goes, he may fall. He's going to get right back up. And Most High is going to send his angels. It says, matter of fact, we get that. Daniel's 12:1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, which we're coming to. So this back and forth between men and women is just a distraction. The imminent danger is right around the corner. All right. This delusional state that the majority of people are in, reality is going to sink in. Because this time of trouble is called Jacob's trouble, which is going to RFID microchip. All right. And everybody's going to be forced to take it or get their head chopped off. Famine, pestilence, civil war. All right. All that's going to be attested is going to be a package deal of this trouble, such as never was since there was a nation. Even to that same time, at that time that people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So if Michael, the archangel of the Lord, all right, mighty general, or the captain host of Yahushua's army, is going to stand up, that means divine intervention. All right. Matter of fact, let me get this before I forget. Something else that popped in. I think I'm covering a lot of stuff in one. It happens. Luke 10:20. Notwithstanding, in this, rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. So that means that there's elect men who's been elected from the beginning of time, that's in the eyes of Yahweh, the creator of all things, predestined to be saved in these times. That makes that man highly precious, high valued, the grand prize of it all. He stands above every single man. If a man is precious, is supposed to be put in a pedestal, the man of the Lord is supposed to be above all that. All right. So if that man, his name is written in the heavens, what more value can be said? All right. So we're dealing with a higher level of thought. Let me see what I have one more. Slakia. Oh, you know what? Malachi 3:12. No. Malachi 3 I started 16. Then they that fear the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord had hearkened, and heard it, and opened. It said, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in the day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall they return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serve him not. So the jewels, the precious stones, the precious gold, that's all men of the Lord. All right. So all this stuff that's happening right now, no one I covered everything, but if not, it is what it is. All right. All this trying to appease the weaker vessel, get that shit out your head. All right. It says, matter of fact, I didn't have Now, Second Ezra 14 and 14. It says, "Let go from thee mortal thoughts, and cast away the burdens of men." So appeasing, robbing, stealing, and trying to make somebody happy, that's all thoughts of men. Put off that weak nature, and set aside thoughts that are more heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen it happen shall be done hereafter. So great evils is coming. And the only people that's going to be protected in that day is the men of the Lord. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.